Today we're going to be changing the spark plugs and coil packs on this 2002 Toyota Tarago. It's the same as a 2000. It's the same as an Estima or a Previa, and it's probably the same as Toyota Corolla as well. It's the same engine, a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. And I know I'm going to be taking off stuff that probably doesn't need to be taken off, but it'll be so you can see what I'm getting into a bit better. First, I'm removing the airbox. To get to the spark plugs. Got a K&N filter. And now I'm going to be removing the airbox clamps so I can get to all the coil packs and also the spark plugs. There's 2 bolts on top of the valve cover. They're both 10mm headed. And there's 1 bolt on the left-hand corner. You don't have to take it completely out, but you have to move it out of the way. Then I remove each coil pack as a 10mm headed bolt on top of it. You have to remove all 4 of those. These coil packs today is we had 1 coil pack that died, and the coil pack that died wasn't a genuine Toyota part, and the mechanic recommended that I replace all 4 of them, not just the 1. So then they've got these clips that are on top. I can't really get to them with gloves because I need more fingers in there. And you just got to pull the clips off all the coil packs. And then move that out of the way. And then you can pull off all the individual coil packs. Packs are out. I'm going to take the spark plugs out. And I got a special Toyota tool to do that, but you can just use any spark plug wrench. This engine's been really reliable. It's got 214,000 kilometers on it. This is the first real engine problem we've had. We've had to replace a radiator. But besides that, not much else, just regular oil changes. Okay, now that I've got all the spark plugs out, we're going to put Iridium 4 plugs in. You can buy these from any auto parts store. You gap them for this particular car at 1.1mm. They've all been pre-gapped.
Show more. We call this brother.
and just the reverse of how you did it before. Some people use anti-seize on their threads. I'm not a big believer in that. I change my spark plugs often enough that if I do enough miles that I don't need to put anti-seize every time. I'm not going to end up with a rusted in spark plug. I tighten them by hand first to avoid cross-threading any cylinder head threads. You don't want to do that. And then when they get to where they seat, you torque them to 22 foot-pounds. Number 2, and I've only got one more to go now. And then we'll be putting in the new coil caps. Coil packs. Now we're going to be replacing the coil packs. You don't have to do it in any order, but as long as you get all 4. We've got Denso parts, Toyota Denso parts, even though the boxes all are different. They're all the same part number, the same brand. And I always put all the coil packs on first, and then tighten the bolts, and then put the electrical connections back. Try and put this as good as I can, and then get all the bolts. You might have taken out a lot of bolts, but all the ones for these will look like this. 10mm heads, that long. And these bolts should be tightened up to no more than 10 foot-pounds. I usually do 8 foot-pounds for this. And then you're going to put all the bolts back in the airbox. So make sure the airbox is lined up. And these all have rubber grommets on as well, so it doesn't vibrate on the valve cover. So next is put in your air filter. Always check and make sure it's clean. If it's not clean, I got a K&N, I can clean it, but if you've got a paper one, just replace it. And that fits in right into the air box. And then take your air box cover. Make sure that's nice and clean as well. If it's not, you can clean this out with water and then spray it out with air, or even lay it in the sun and let it dry. It's got two tabs on this end. You put into the back of the air box, and then it's got clips on this side that you just clip. And then finally you take your inlet hose for your air box, and it's got a clip here, and you line it up on that, put it on that, and then clip it. And now that's secure. And then your final two bolts go just above the radiator. Tighten them in by hand first so you don't strip anything. And again, these bolts should be no more than about 6 to 8 foot-pounds. And you're all done. And you can start it up and make sure it runs. And it's not missing, and it sounds good. Check to see whether you've got all your airbox mounts back there. Once you move stuff around, you might pull stuff off or pull cords off, but everything looks good. Everything's on, everything's running. You take it for a test drive and then check and see whether anything's missing. If it's not, you're good to go.